Hey, what's up, creamies? Welcome to the Ice Cream You Meme. I've looked at the statistics and I've seen that a lot of people turn it off in the first minute. So I'm gonna try to hit it real quick. We're here. We're doing stories. Let's get after it. Let's get into it. JD, how you doing?
You were interrupted by Minnie.
Is it Minnie? Okay.
Yeah, she shocking. Meowed. I'm doing great. It hasn't been 1 minute yet. Please stay.
Please.
We're talking about fan fiction today.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
If you touch it,
alpha, beta, omega shit, right? You got some of that for me?
Brother. No, Ben.
No.
We're sticking in our realm today.
Okay,
Again, we're going back to our realm. We're going back to our world.
The odds are. What are the odds of like horny shit showing up? Like, should we slap a mature one on this one? I
filtered that out. I did a genius moment, and I remembered how pretty decent the archive of our own, search options are, and they're beautiful. They're fantastic. I love them so much.
Sick.
It's gorgeous.
I would say, like, as a metadata professional, they are really great. I mean, like, all of these different categories and ways to filter, super robust searching here.
Robust.
Do you remember how big of a drop it was when you filtered out like the NS?
The one thing I do have a problem with when it comes to searching on AO3 or because in other places I can search like author colon quotation, right? I can do that. I could not do that on AO3. Like I couldn't like at least look for specifically like works that have been like orphaned or anonymous specifically, because I was like I don't want to drag people's names into this episode without, But by the way that I narrowed it down, I think I came down to, at least in the fandoms that I was looking at least only 6 pages. So I was only like looking through like 60 things.
Okay.
We're really niche.
Yeah. We're in there.
Yeah, we're in there.
Refined pool we're diving into.
Yeah. So
good information practice to get it down to a manageable number, but we're still going in cold. We don't know any of these stories, right?
Yeah. I just basically I just looked at who was in it, the rating, and all of that stuff, and I don't know anything about it. I think I magically also removed the summary from my brain. Sometimes summaries don't even matter, don't mean anything. It could be like a vague little quote. So I don't know what these are about. We're going to choose from them once we get through the little section, and we're going to roll a beautifully weighted D20. This is one of 2 D20s that I have. This is my favorite one.
Can you prove it's not like loaded dice that you're not? What if we got that?
Oh, okay. What if it was like 20? Yeah. No, I rolled a 16.
16. Okay. All right.
Not 16.
Seems like things are on the up and up here. We're all right. Yeah.
18. All right.
Okay. High numbers though. So
I'm rolling high numbers. Maybe
a little sauce. Yeah.
Okay. Because I rigged it so that the high numbers are the ones for each. Okay. But yeah, we are going a little bit more structured today. We've been doing a lot of readings and all that stuff, but I thought let's do a little crossover to how our podcast is usually at, and also how it's been as of late, because we're just having fun doing some stuff, but getting back into something a little bit more familiar for us and also for you. Do not
keep that shit on.
I know. Are you really gonna let YouTube beat you?
Yeah. Come on now. Look, I know that we don't have Subway Surfers playing in the middle of our goddamn video, but we need you. We need you here. We need you here. Come on.
Do you think? Hold on. Wait. My iPad. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Showing the iPad's not gonna help. Look, I mean, like, you can just leave us on in the background. You don't have to pay attention.
You don't have to look at us.
That's not the important part. The important part is the play. Okay, so.
Yeah, don't turn off the episode.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, he's really getting it, huh? Oh my god. Oh.
This person's doing a really fantastic job, though.
Wait, is this like a tutorial level? This is not the real.
No,
deal.
this is gameplay.
I don't see coins though.
When do they get to the coins?
The coins are the fun part. The coins are what hits my dopamine.
Oh, they get to the coins like midway through.
Yeah.
Go away, iPad.
Yeah, we'll just start putting Subway Surfer clips in. I mean, work for me.
And the thing is, because I'm gonna be the one holding the Subway Surfer thing, it's not gonna be edited on it. I'm just literally holding my iPad.
You're gonna get your arm workout in holding the.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Just put us on in the background. Let us run through. Well, periodically, at least we're those people who like don't randomly be like, hey guys, now I'm gonna yell and then not acknowledge it. No.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, oh, you're doing such a good job. You're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Wham bam.
We're gonna encourage our listeners. Is that what?
Yeah, we're encouraging our listeners to continue and do their work. Are you? If you're listening at work right now, yes,
lock in.
Locked in. Get those spreadsheets.
Yes.
Make sure you are inputting the correct data so that when you run the formula, it is it's going to give you the correct percentage, because that's what I was going through today. I was doing my own database management today, and I was going through some stuff to make sure that I could get a percentage for a lot of numbers. And then I realized midway through that I was copying the wrong thing because I had put in the wrong tags for the thing that I was doing. And I was like, oh, that's great to know 40 numbers in.
Yeah.
So
I haven't spent time on this, luckily. So
yeah, so I did get up and walk around for a second.
Walk it off. You gotta have sometimes.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. It doesn't. Anyway, we're gonna get in a different sort of archive today. Archive of our own. Everybody's our own. Yeah. Yours, ours, we. Today. Yeah. Uri. Okay, so today is a fanfiction centric episode. We have discussed this just a teensy bit on episode 28, just a little bit, and in general. But today, Ben, surprise, we have a focus for today's episode. Last time we recorded, we talked about potentially doing some readings from Archive of Our Own and just going through the tag. But I remembered the feelings that people have about their work on AO3 and the work of others. So I thought we'd get a little set up and ready for engaging in fan fiction in a way that doesn't go, we're not shitheads. We would never troll anyone, but just to let the people know ahead of time, we don't do that shit. We're not that type of shit.
Don't listen to the last couple episodes. We may have shit on some things, but generally speaking,
once we got to the holding stuff, the beholder, that shit was...
That's mysterious. I'm still intrigued by that.
Sound
off in the comments if you want to hear about more holding.
I'm gonna do my own holding time.
Type my own comments and
you could be like,
yes, please.
Yes. Send it in chat, our chat. Yeah. Ben and I are shitheads, but not in that way. So you already know that. But for anyone else who might come into this for the first time, I'm here to tell you that Ben and I are going to be perfectly normal about this in a podcast way. I prepared some discussion notes and questions for us, so don't worry. Additionally, for myself, I did for a very long time in college. I did a bunch of papers and projects on fan fiction and fandom culture, specifically focusing on fan engagement through production of fanfics, fan art, and other fan content. Also, back when I was a wee baby, I was in the Glee fandom. I knew people who wrote fan fiction. I wrote music for those fan fiction, and I was in a I was Rachel Berry in an RP group. I was in a role play group, and I know what it's like to be a fan. However, I very rarely attended those times because I was not the biggest fan of Rachel Berry, and I think we just needed kind of a Rachel Berry because that was the only one missing.
Is that why you have the D20? Is that like part of the RP?
No, it was on Tumblr, Ben. Yeah. It was on Tumblr. It was just posting and getting followers. And also low key when I'm writing a song for myself or another artist, if I've never experienced something that I'm writing about, while also asking the person for information, I sometimes turn to fiction to try and sort it out. That's kind of fan fiction in some way. I've written some stuff based on like random TV shows that fit the vibe of the song. We all get inspiration from a lot of things. The one most memorable random thing I've written about is a song called Slow Burn in high school, which I wrote about burning my tongue on March-en ramen. Ooh. And it really hurt. Mm-hmm. It was like, when you burn your tongue and it's like that one part of your tongue is just like numb and also kind of tingly and then cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
unpleasant experience.
It was unpleasant. Some of the stuff that we've covered on the show can be considered fan fiction, right? Especially if they're created from a piece of existing media. To remind you about fan fiction and what it is in general, it's when fans create some piece of content, in this case, fiction about a piece of media. And to quote me from 2016, I'm doing it again for my for my essay. In Henry Jenkins' Textual Poachers, Television Fans, and Participatory Culture, he introduces the idea of Certeau's textual poaching analogy and connects it to fans and the way they interact with their chosen media. Jenkins speaks of the analogy of poaching parallel to the way that fans step into the territory of writers and raid on the literary preserve, only to take away things that are relevant to them and their interests. Fans poach specific things like characters, their backstories, so that they can apply their own interpretations that may resist the author's intended meaning, therefore establishing a semiotic warfare between the fans and the authors. It's important to note that not all poaching is subversive of the original meaning of the text and can sometimes be supportive or something that counters a progressive move in the media that it is poaching from. So fan fiction, you take little bits and pieces of from things, and then you make something out of it, right? Everybody say thank you, JD, from 9 years ago. You're so smart and so awesome. I love you. And stream music from one. Anyway, you're welcome. Most importantly, Ben and I are engaging in this stories not to poke fun, but to look at them from an analytical, kind of funny point of view as people who look at stories and try to understand what makes them scary, a good meme, or some aspect of pop culture. I have pulled anonymous AO3 fanfic on topics we've covered before, and we'll let you know what episodes we had them on so you can check back on what we know and what you can know. We're looking at stories from anonymous authors. However, on the off chance you haven't stopped the episode yet, and you're like, wait, that's me. Hit us up, icecreamumeme@gmail.com. But now that we're done with that part, Ben, have you ever participated in fan fiction of any sort?
No, I have not. This is like you're like in anthropological terms or sociological terms, probably ethnographic terms. You're definitely like the fixer. You're the gatekeeper here. So I appreciate you kind of setting the stage, and I'm a little scared, honestly, at that. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like, hey, you guys, don't get mad at us. Hey, all right, we're gonna be nice. All right, that's it.
Ben and Ethan are so nice, guys.
It's okay. It's all right. We're just having fun here. We're just having fun. It's okay. So I'm a little scared, but I appreciate that you have the knowledge of the subculture, this background, this long history here. And I feel like you're a safe guide. You know, I don't feel like you're going to leave me in the waste, and I'm going to get like attacked by fan fiction authors.
I'll be like, it's Ben.
Yeah, I mean, you can blame me. It's okay.
But yeah, fan fiction. I am not the best fiction writer. I don't do well in dialogue. I know when you had to do like creative writing in middle school, like you would have to write dialogue. I was not very good at entering into dialogue and then leaving them and then remembering quotation marks and all that stuff. So I have never written fan fiction. However, I have written songs for like friends fan fiction, those kinds of things, because it's like the easy practice stuff and all that stuff. I have read. Obviously, I had to read some when I was writing all of my papers and my essays, specifically in like the Star Wars fandom. So I have consumed it. Anytime I'm like talking with a friend who is watching like a similar show to me, like sometimes we'll come up with like maybe headcanon as like participating in fan fiction in one way or another. Even if you're not like creating a piece of media out of it, you're kind of imagining something with your friend and that kind of thing. So I have never deliberately taken part in fan fiction. Ben, you have not yet. So that's going to be fun because I know of fan fictions and I have studied them, and you are here as like, I'm having fun. Ben's here to have fun. So when we go through these stories, we're going to think about the following things in terms of discussion. It's from what we know of the following stories as people who know about the topics. What do we think of this, the piece of fiction that we're reading? How does it engage with the original story? Does it attempt to improve the story, expand the story, explain something in the story? And does it just do something in general that we've noticed? And how does it engage in the original story, engage with the original story content that it's based on? I will bring that up once more when we go through the stories. And as usual, we have our like ratings of like fear, believability, storytelling, story content, and all that stuff overall. So I have 4 for us. Okay. And I have my unweighted, beautiful, balanced D20.
Mm-hmm.
Then
yeah,
you will go first because this is your first fan fiction on recording. All right, I will roll a D20 and whatever number it lands on, that is you. And I hope you get one that you 12.
Okay, sharing the link.
12. Yes. Yeah, okay, so where is 12? Oh, okay, slay. I put it in chat for the Riverside chat.
Slay. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Just fair warning. I did just read the tags. That's about it. So if it's is it asking you like, are you old enough to read this?
No, it's not.
Okay. So when you get there, let's let's have you read the sort of like information on it, rating, archive warning, blah blah blah, and all that stuff.
All right. Everybody. Started. So everyone should be fine. This is for general audiences. Archive warning. No archive warnings apply. It is in the general category. Fandoms are Bob's Burgers and the Slenderman mythos. Relationship is Linda Belcher and Slenderman. Characters are Linda Belcher and Slenderman. Additional tags are fluff, friendship, food, crack treated seriously.
Okay, so before we get started, I'll get you a little bit into some of these like terms and connections. So you said relationship, Linda Belcher and Slenderman. For those listening, the tag, the relationship tag is using an ampersand, meaning that this is like a friendship, or they're just like sort of interacting. So they're the main, like the relationship is a friendship. If it was a slash, if it was Linda Belcher / Slenderman, that would then that it would be like a sort of like a romantic kind of thing. But because it's an ampersand, it's just they're friends. Then we head into fluff, which is just, like all like feel good, fun, like just nice stuff happening. And then crack treated seriously. This is do you know what crack treated seriously means?
No, I do not.
Okay. So when you're on YouTube.org, when you watch something that's like, it's a crack video. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what a crack video is. No,
whoa!
Yeah.
We're teaching today. Okay. So like, it's just kind of like a bizarre like situation. It's like a bizarre thing. It's like a weird thing that's happening, but it's being taken seriously. Okay. So we can sort of surmise that like one aspect of the crack being treated seriously is that this is an interaction between Linda and Slenderman, right? There could also be like Slenderman actually goes to the same school as like her, and then those kinds of things. So it's like crack treated seriously, a bizarre situation is happening, or this is a bizarre setting, blah blah blah. However, it's played straight. There you go. Yeah, playing it straight. But yeah, let's go.
So unexpected encounter, as we all know, these are all anonymous. It was a dark and stormy night in, and Linda was lost. She had taken a wrong turn on her way home from the grocery store, and now she was hopelessly lost. As she stumbled through the trees, she heard a rustling behind her. She turned around to see a tall, slender figure looming in the darkness. It was Slenderman, the infamous creature known for his ability to kill those who crossed his path. But instead of feeling frightened, Linda found herself charmed by the creature's awkward and clumsy movements. She took a step forward and offered him a friendly greeting. "Hi there, are you lost too?" she asked. Slenderman didn't respond, but Linda didn't seem to mind. She took out a bag of burgers and fries from her grocery bag and offered them to the creature. "Here, have some food. You look hungry," she said, smiling warmly. Slenderman stared at the burgers and fries for a moment before hesitantly taking one. To Linda's surprise, he seemed to enjoy it, his awkward movements becoming a little more graceful as he ate. As they ate, Linda and Slenderman chatted like old friends, exchanging stories and laughing together. Linda even sang a little song, which Slenderman seemed to appreciate. When it was time to part ways, Linda gave Slenderman a warm hug. "Thanks for the company and laughs," she said. "Maybe we'll run into each other again sometime." And with that, Linda headed off into the night. Feeling grateful for the unexpected encounter with the lovable Slenderman.
The lovable Slenderman.
Lovable Slenderman.
I am glad that you got that one because of the Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, the Bob's tie-in. Yeah.
If there was dialogue, I hoped you would do
Bobby's.
like an accent.
Yeah.
Bobby. But yeah, that was your first easy in fan fiction.
Yeah.
What do you think about?
You freaks are all right. It's not so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
he called you guys freaks.
I'm kidding. It was a joke. Jokes.
Which, but yeah, like you are someone who's familiar with Bob's Burgers and the Slenderman mythos.
Yeah.
How was that realist in terms of like an interaction that like Linda would have with like some like random person or random creature? Is this in character Linda?
I would say this is in character Linda. I feel like Linda's a very pure character, a render friendly, nurturing character. Likes to just kind of feed people. It's always very positive seeming. I've not watched the last few seasons of Bob's Burgers. That could have changed. I'm sure that seems consistently with her character, from what I know. So yeah, that makes sense. Slenderman maybe a little out of character. Notoriously not a chatty one as far as we know, but there's no actual Slenderman dialogue in here, so I guess that's okay. Even though it says that they both talk. So
yeah, then you could potentially comment that like Slenderman is a little OOC in this because he's out of character. So that would be like your critique of like, hey OP, love this fic. Linda's so in character. However, Slenderman, a little OOC right there. But he seems a little that kind of thing, right?
Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought like you could do kind of like whatever with fan fiction, but you kind of want to like emulate.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever, but people will kind of like, hey, this doesn't quite fit.
Some people who are just in it for the vibe, they'll be like, hell yeah, would see this. Linda would honestly, genuinely do this because she seems so warm. And I think, Slenderman would kind of be a little bit like, this is a weird lady. It's probably, she knows who I am, I guess, but she's not really afraid of me. So, vibe. But then some people will be like, great characterization on Linda Belcher. However, your Slenderman's a little off. You discussed him as chatting with Linda. I don't believe Slenderman has ever spoken. Maybe he would have delivered a message to her mentally, but speaking? And also, do we know if Slenderman really eats or requires any sort of sustenance?
Yeah, so it's the internet.
Like,
okay.
Still. Yeah, so it's still the internet, right? It's just this. I don't think there's a word limit on comments, so you can go ahead and just write. You can go ham on the comments. Yeah. But how was your first your entry into fanfiction dump that being Slenderman's and Bob's Burger?
I thought it was very nice. It was a nice combination, unexpected to me, but I liked it. And I should also mention there are 2 comments which I cannot see. There are 27 kudos, which is good. Yeah, and 126 hits.
Wow, 126 hits
for
a random pairing for like a random ass situation. I think 126 hits, especially in a very like strange crossover, is like fairly good. Sometimes I'll watch like a random TV show that has like a bunch of like views on YouTube, and then I'll be like, oh, let's see if someone has written something about them.
Yeah,
none. So this random Linda Belcher and Slenderman interaction having 126 hits.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well done, Anonymous. Nice job.
Yeah. Our ratings for here are, I guess, fear, believability, storytelling, content overall. But
yeah, I mean, look, fear's got to be a 0. I mean,
0.
Yeah, storytelling. I feel like it's nice. It was a thing happened, an event happened. It's clear what happened, and it was nice. Yeah,
nice. But in terms of engaging,
nice
nice out of 5. Believability, obviously. Linda Belcher.
Believable Belcher activities, but as you pointed out, as we both pointed out, Slenderman maybe a little out of character. But I don't mind that. Like I'm not here to judge. I feel like it's kind of boring. Slenderman's probably writing about Slenderman. It's not the most exciting. He's kind of just a looming presence usually.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if one of these days we do a personal run of the wiliest Slenderman fan fiction that we find on our own time, not on this show, this family friendly event show.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the story itself, does it engage in any way with the original story? Like, does it do something to it? Does it add something to it? Does it make you think about anything? Like, maybe it's like, yeah,
maybe to Bob's Burgers lore, but not necessarily to Slender lore, I would say. I mean, what did I describe it? The infamous creature known for his ability to kill those who cross his path. Is that really what Slenderman is known for? Is that an ability? Is killing people and is killing things an ability?
Is murder an ability, a skill?
Ability? Like, I feel like it's supernatural. It's not like a supernatural ability, it's
because anyone can
anybody can do that, probably. Like, like, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's more things he's known for, right? Like within the Slenderman lore. So I would say it's not an expansion of Slenderman lore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe it's like a little side quest for Slenderman.
A side quest for Slenderman. We did mention a little something a while ago. That's like, does it attempt to, or does it do something with the character? We were like, Slenderman was chatting.
Yeah,
it made us think about the story of, like, in the original piece of Slenderman content, right? Not the photo and the edits, but like the stuff that like followed it and has made it into the Slenderman mythos.
Marble Hornets.
Does he talk?
No, I don't think so. I think Slenderman is generally kind of a visual presence, like a looming, you see him in the corner of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're talking Marble Hornets or a Slender Game or anything like that.
Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting thought, because it's like, okay, what does Slenderman sound like? Does Slenderman have, maybe because he's in wherever the Belchers live, does he have an accent?
Potentially. That seems to be implied here. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh my god!
Local to the boss. Is he in the local to the Boss Burgers?
Oh my god! Slenderman is a local.
Mid-Atlantic.
What if he had like an old school, like, what's the, like, those old film accents? The transatlantic accent. Yeah, the transatlantic accent. So you're just like, does that take away from how scary you are, like, visually?
Sure. It's impossible to be scared with that accent.
Slenderman, like, doing a fainting spell.
Thanks for the burger, toots.
Thanks for
like that. Yeah, it's not.
Oh, Linda. Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, I guess, at least for me, it engages in that way. It makes me think about, like, what Slenderman would sound like.
Yeah. What would he chat? What engaging stories would he tell? Does he tell jokes? They laugh together?
Yeah.
What jokes does Slenderman know? Yeah,
because it's like, listen, if I encountered Slenderman and I was as nice and gentle as Linda, and I was opening and welcoming, what kind of stories do I expect Mr. Slenderman to be telling me about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, how he got here, like how the drive was here. I don't know. Like, I don't want to listen.
Yeah.
Peace and love, but I don't want to hear any murder stories, crimes.
Well, that's what he's known for, is his ability to kill those who cross his path. So
once again, is killing an ability.
Yeah,
you can accidentally do a kill.
Yeah, that's manslaughter.
That one's called manslaughter, not an accidental do a kill, but that one's a manslaughter.
It's a little whoopsie. Yeah.
Well, my bad. Hey, Mr. Judge, my bad.
Yeah.
That if you're, don't do a crime, but if you're have done it on accident, consider going.
I think if you say my bad, then you're good. That's not legal advice necessarily, but like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you admit, hey, it was a whoopsie, you'll be okay.
My bad, dude. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you didn't do it. You know what? You're free to go. You're good. You're good.
It seems like a chill guy. I mean, like, we're gonna.
You're standing there with your pocket, your gray sweater. You're just like, my bad.
Your Honor, I'm just a chill guy. I'm not.
Oh my god! To think about being the other freaking lawyer attorney on that side, I should be like, is he using the "I'm a chill guy" meme as a fucking defense?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Thicker than the bowl.
Brilliant legal minds.
Brilliantly. That is in the updated revamped, like the reboot of Suits.
Ooh, now we're talking. Yeah.
But bunch of millennial Gen Z lawyers.
Yeah.
Don't want to do their work. Just come to the office and be like, yo, my bad, dog.
Your Honor, I'd like to talk to her. You at the bench.
Why were you also kind of doing a transatlantic accent in the middle of that? That's why I was like, I don't know where he's going with it.
I'm going for the Southern lawyer. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my bad. I've just seen Joker Folie à Deux, wherein the Joker does a whole thing where he does a Southern accent.
What is this movie about?
Yo, we can't get into Joker Folie à Deux, really.
Not on this beautiful episode. Not on this beautiful episode.
It's a terrible movie. It's really Todd Phillips hates his audience is like the major factor. That's mostly what it's about, is how much he fucking hates people that like the Joker. That's real. That's genuinely like it seems to be the main through line, because it's like a musical, but it's like I forget the term. There's no original songs in it, or there's
a jukebox.
It's a jukebox musical, but they're like intentionally. It all intentionally sounds bad. I think like they're not singing well. Like they got Lady Gaga in it, but she doesn't.
Lady Gaga,
and they're like not making her sing well. Like they're making her like kind of sound like a little off, you know. And it's just like all kind of like 50s era like show tune stuff, I guess. And it's just like it's rough. It's like a legal drama, and then there's also like the main thing is like Lady Gaga's character. She's like the Harley Quinn, but she kind of like she's one of the representatives of like the fans. So she's like basically like, oh Joker, you're so cool, Joker. Yeah, you're such a bad boy, Joker. Like that's all that's like her thing, right? And she's like trying to egg him on and make him do more Joker shit. And then throughout the film, there's like more people that represent the fans, and they're all like pieces of shit, and they're all just like.
You had Lady Gaga on your jukebox musical, and you don't utilize Lady Gaga's voice.
Not to the full effect. No, certainly not.
Especially on like 50s like show tunes type stuff. Her stuff with fucking. Oh my god!
She's got the goods. We know that. We know this. Like she could have brought the house again. It could have been good, but I think it was like a spite film more than anything. I think it was like I fucking hate you people. The movie sucks. The music sucks. It's painful to sit through. Fuck you for watching this. I think it's like what happened.
Did you watch it in the theaters?
No, I did not. No.
Oh my god.
We only watched the first Joker like last month.
Oh.
And then Joker Folie à Deux after that, because it had just dropped on like Max or whatever.
That's crazy. I feel like people were really like, I mean, like at least from what I was seeing when I was on the internet, back when I was on the internet, people were like, "What's this movie going to be about? How are they going to use Lady Gaga on here? She really loves to lean into her characters and go ham." Because there's like maybe a couple like months ago, I saw like the Lady Gaga Joker, some related vinyl at like the store.
Brother,
yeah,
that's not gonna be good.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fact check later if it's like re-recorded version of it, because if you're genuinely like ew,
there was nothing. I didn't enjoy any songs in it.
Well, that's crazy.
I was just like, and for something with Lady Gaga, you'd be like, oh, that's good. Like, oh yeah, she's great. You know,
that's crazy. Yeah, there was a vinyl. That's crazy.
Just a cash grab.
Oh my god.
Purely like that's all I can do.
Oh my god.
I can't, awful soundtrack overall.
Well,
so Joker Folie à Deux.
Joker Folie à Deux. Do not recommend this. This fic we do recommend for an easy cash read. It
nice toe in the water.
Yeah. We've got the fluff. We've got friendship food. Everything was promised as it was, but now, tis my turn. Oh, Slender Man appears on Ben's episode 20. It's a really good. It's a really good listen. Make you think, but also make you go sad face when
both of our episode 20, right? We shared that topic.
Oh yeah!
Wow. I did the history and JJ did the visual.
Oh yeah, well
surrounding Slender Man.
Ben, you can listen to the history of it from Ben, and then you can
Yeah.
Photoshop yourself some Slender Man photos with me. Completely forgot that I was in that. I was just listening.
You're in
the whole
every
time.
episode, JD. You're a co-host with this, yeah.
I just sort of appear and I'm like listening the whole time, and then I forget that I speak.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, 'tis my turn. We've got 3 left. One. I think, okay, now that I realize that I am in the Slender Man episode, we've got a fair cut. Like, I think 2 of them are you, 2 of them are me. So that's nice. Okay. Because it used to be 3 of them are you, 1 of them was me.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized, oh, yeah, I am in that episode. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She landed.
Good
Hold
throw.
on. Number 7, bitch.
7. A.
My favorite number.
My angel number.
It's my angel number, guys.
Angel number.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, because I get a Ben Drowned related episode. And
Oh,
I did
sick.
Ben Drowned on episode 4 of the podcast. Ben was also there. This is an old one. Top 10 Bens. Top 5 Bens. Ben Drowned. Top 5 Bens. Okay. All right. I'm going to.
Yeah, it's okay. It's cool.
All right. So, okay. So this one is once again rating general audiences because I filtered specifically for it to be general audiences. Archive warning, no archive warnings apply. Category general. Fandom is creepypasta. Then we've got relationships, end. Okay, Ben and original characters. So you can do an original character in your fan fiction. And then it says specifically no romantic relationships. And the characters are original characters and Ben drowned. The tags are, I remember being interested in this, okay? The tags are drowning. Ben is like 14, not shippy in the slightest. I want to make that capital V, very, capital C, clear. Drabble means short, a short piece of fiction. Then weird ghost stuff. And it says, it makes sense if I explain it, but I do not. And then temporary character death.
Okay.
All right. So, very intriguing set of tags. This one is called Living Water from, once again, Anonymous. And the summary says, the water burns. Oh, I can't be like, the water burns, invading her throat. Get the light out of my way.
Okay, yeah. Stretch it out. Lock in.
Lock in. Okay, it says, the water burns, invading her throat, her lungs, her organs. It doesn't hurt her as much as it hurts Ben, gasping and flailing and glitching. A ghost can die. A ghost can't die, but sometimes that's worse. This one may be a little...
That's it?
No, that was a summary.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Okay. I feel like the light in my eyes is really... Ooh, okay. Mood lighting. Okay, it says, all right. A claw through her neck. It kills. She's not dead yet. Not yet. Not yet. The water splashes around her, engulfing what she calls a body, filling her lungs, her gills, the puncture in her throat. A timer ticks down 1 minute. Her body can last without life for 1 minute. She can last within her body without life for 1 minute. Not dead, not alive. The water hurts. It shouldn't. It doesn't hurt her as much as it hurts him. Ben flails, gasping for air that a ghost can't take, glitching as the water tries to drag him down, down, down. Animal is her name. It is what she is, a beast, a predator, made for hunting and killing and pain. Most of all, she is protective. He shouts, glitching nothingness that should have been words. He's dead. So is she, if not for long. It is long enough. A scaled arm wraps around his middle, claws digging into the soft flesh of his abdomen. The water splashes and ripples in anger, trying to pull them down, down, down. The water wants its prize, and she won't let it. He is not its to keep. The water is strong, but it's no ocean. It's no sea. She does not need to listen to it, does not need to heed its call, its demands. She's a dragon, and dragons have never been known to give up their hoard so easily. Her claws hit rock and soil, digging in until she feels clay under her nails. He is lighter in her grip, more like a ghost than a living person. Time is almost up. Her body is almost mended, almost healed. She pushes him up, over the side of the water and onto the solid land. He lands and rolls over, thrashing and coughing and crying tears of red and blood and something else that could only belong to a ghost. The water is angry. It wants him back, wants its prize back. If it cannot have him, it will take her. She's dragged down underwater. filling her lungs and pressing against her gills so tight they close. Her feet touch the floor of the pond, and she pushes up, up, up. Her claws dig into solid soil again, and she keeps moving and going and doesn't stop, because if she does, she'll die, and then she can't protect her hoard, and she hauls herself out of the water, crawling further onto solid land. She heaves and coughs, water ripping from her throat and lungs in bursts. A creature of water, almost killed by it. In any other situation, she'd laugh at herself. Her eyes dart around as she looks for him, curled in on himself, glitching and sobbing, water dripping from his clothes, ears pinned to the side of his head. He's far enough from the water that it can't get to him. Her lungs hurt, hissing and snapping in pain as they knit themselves together. She falls to her side, closes her eyes, and sleeps. Bam.
Bam. Okay.
Living water. Anonymous.
All right, anonymous. Interesting.
Okay, words. Okay.
I thought it was drowning him in a bathtub for a minute. I thought it was still, like, just holding him under the water or some shit. But
go, yep. Yeah, prose wise.
I like the prose. Purple prose.
That was purple.
Purplest.
Purple rain. But yeah, it's very like, it's okay, because it is a creepypasta type story. I was thinking of how some creepypastas are like written in this way of like very descriptive, very purple prosy, really wants you in the scene by like drowning you in like image, drowning you in the sort of like the panic that one would feel if they're like drowning, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. So it's very image wise, it's very like dark and very like it's a
vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
There's a slightly goth energy to it.
Yeah, I was thinking it's very like, if this was like a short film or something like that, it would be very like dirty, gritty, like edgy kind of like filtering on it. It'd be very desaturated, right?
Yeah, right.
Never mind that it's like a dragon type creature and like Link with,
Link with a fucked up face
with and some red eyes and all that stuff. But I think imagery wise, it's very, very like, this person is you're a writer, my friend. You're a writer. It's not like, do you know the person who does the beholding the stuff? They're the holder ofs.
The holder ofs.
The holder ofs.
Similar thing going on there.
Yeah. It's a very good. It doesn't convey the same sort of like, it's a Linkin Park music video, but it is.
No, it doesn't have the new metal energy there.
Yeah, it has a little bit of like steampunk, maybe, right?
Yeah, the dragon was what kind of interested me.
Yeah, so
I think that changes the impression of the vibe a little bit.
Yeah, it says for the notes of this this piece of work, it says animal is my OC with 1 million words of lore that have never been written down. I haven't written anything about her since like first grade, but this hyperfixation grabbed me and I was like, oh, we're writing animal fic now. Okay.
Right.
So
animal.
This one's it's a little bit difficult because it does have an original character. So you do have the pull of Ben drowned, Mr. Link, fucked up Link himself. So it doesn't have too many. It is from 2024. So it doesn't have too many hits. But I believe that if this was an original piece of work, this might have been like maybe like a strange scene in like a series of unfortunate events, right? It has it has a bit of that dark, gritty
setup,
kind of thing, right? Some adult like push you both into the water in hopes of getting your parents' money, that kind of thing. But we are going to how does it engage with the Ben drowned story itself, and does it attempt to improve, blah blah blah, expand, anything like that, and how does it engage in that? I think it just has the character in it.
And he's drowning, actually.
And he's then he is actively drowning right now, and
literally drowning.
Oh, literally drowning. But that's at least, I do feel a sense of like, I don't ever feel bad for Ben drowned in the original content itself, right? I'm just kind of like, get out of this video, stop it, right? Stop being weird. But in this, I do feel a little bad, like very specifically knowing that this creature from the computer video game is 14 years old and drowning. Now I'm like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
Ben does not drown.
So it adds a little dimension.
Yeah, it adds
the Ben.
Yeah, because it does
The drowned
mention
Ben.
how he's like
Yeah.
glitching and
Yeah.
making
sad, sobbing, right?
Yeah, sobbing. So I'm just like, I feel a little bad for this
Yeah.
this little child who's drowning, who looks a little bit like Link and a little messed up, but like,
Yeah.
I did feel a little bad. So maybe it gave a little emotion to Mr. Ben drowned himself. And I don't think it engages in the original content beyond like, here is the character. In terms of the ratings, I have fear, believability, storytelling, story content, and overall storytelling. I did think it was very good.
Yeah, nice story.
Right? It's not. I liked. There was like the sort of like repetitive stuff of like down, 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 up, up, and how quick and easy the sentences were, but they were very like evocative, that kind of stuff. Story content is a piece of. It's like a what is it? What is the thing in this? When the story is just like a
vignette? I don't know.
Grazie mille. It's a vignette. So it was it doesn't have overall like why they drowned, why they're in there, but I liked it. It was like
you drop in, you're in the action, animal drowning, then drown, and go from there.
There. In terms of fear, I a little bit like when I read about like drowning, I don't enjoy it because I think I've watched far too many like random documentaries on like people surviving drowning and like the feeling of it.
Shout out, scary, interesting.
Right. And it's just like, I don't like it. I really don't like it. So fear for me, if I was going to do like out of 5, she's a 5. Overall, I did like that. I like that. You had a character that we're somewhat aware of, and to maybe like draw in a little bit of like, ooh, here's fan fiction about Mr. Ben drowned. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Nice.
Good stuff. I like that one. We have two more left in this whole section, but so far from the 2 that you the one that you read and the one that you listened to, it's a very different. They're very different. We've got like a fun little slice of life moment that's treated seriously with Linda Belcher and Slenderman, and then Ben drowned and an original character. So off of these 2, what is your impression so far of that like spread of like, ooh, this one got serious from that like fluffy moment?
I think we're seeing, it's like there's definitely a range in terms of the emotions evoked here. So far, I don't think these are both outside, I'd say, of like our general creepypastas though. Like I think a lot of times those are very much like, this is why this is scary. You're gonna be so scared by this. That's like a frequent thing. Where these are both, I think, more. The storytelling, I think, is overall a little better. Like there's a little more like stage setting. At least when we're talking about like the big hitters, your Jeff the Killers, that one is notoriously poorly written. These are both a little better in terms of just like, we're gonna try to set a stage. We're gonna try to like show don't tell in the story. I'm enjoying it. But yeah,
nice. Okay, now we've got 2 down between the 2 of us. Okay. And I'm going to roll another D20 for you. And I hope you get this one. If not, I'm going to make If not, I'm cheating.
Load that dice. All right.
I did because it's a D20 and there's 4 options. I did I split all of the numbers manually between all of them. And I'm hoping that Nope. It's the Slenderman one again. I forgot that you can repeat numbers. 4. Again. That was Ben drowned. Come on. 16?
Is that the first Slenderman one again, too?
No, that one was 15.
Okay.
But now I'm like, do I force the hand of God? Do I force the hand and make you read?
We're doing there's only 4 total.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't read them before, right?
I haven't.
You can pawn it off on me. I'm cool with it.
All right.
Fuck the haters.
I'm cheating.
Yeah.
Ben, read the Jeff the Killer one.
All right.
Here we go. Yeah, because you know him. You know him. I would like to reach out my I can't get over that song. My little hand. Have you've listened to the Punch Up the Jam episode on that, right?
Of course I have. Yeah, that's great.
God, it's so good. All right.
Okay, here we go. Rating: teen and up audiences.
Ooh.
Archive warning: graphic depictions of violence. Fandoms: Trolls, the DreamWorks movie. Creepypasta fandom. Characters: Jeffrey Woods. Okay, vertical line.
Mhm.
Is that like an alter ego thing?
Yeah, I think that. Do you know if that's his real name, Jeffrey Woods?
At the probably.
Probably. Like, so it'll be like that that kind of thing. Is like, this is his real name and this is what you know him as. That
alter
kind of
ego.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Jeffrey Woods. Vertical line.
Yeah.
Jeff the Killer.
Yeah.
So, and then Floyd parentheses trolls. Additional tags are gun violence, crack, which I know what that is now, and crack crossover. Language is English. It's part of a series into the Floyd verse. Stats, pretty new, 2024. 1 chapter, 2 comments, 7 kudos, 1 bookmark, and 84 hits.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So long and good night. That's the title.
Okay.
Which that's the song, right? Who did that one? You know what I'm talking about? Is that My Chemical Romance? I think it might be My Chemical Romance.
It might be. Right. Does it not say in the summary of like title from blah, 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 blah? That's a tendency on AO3.
I don't see it.
OP.
But I'm pretty sure that's My Chemical Romance.
Mayhaps.
Like 75% sure, which for me is pretty good. I guess I'll read. Well, I feel like the summary's kind of cheating though.
Yeah. Just go for
it. Floyd's life kind of sucked balls with a Z. His family was dead, and he was the most emo he had ever been in his whole very emo life. He dyed a streak of his hair black and only wore black eyeshadow and eyeliner now, and he cried 24/7 and listened to emo music. But not MCR. Okay, there we go. MCR killed his family. He was so sad and emo. He'd moved on from his prior goal of making his ex, Party Poison, pay for the death of his entire family. He had no goal and no purpose now. His life was empty. Killing Party Poison had been pretty swag, though. 10 out of 10 would do it again. He was so sad that he kept singing very sad and emo songs since his family was dead and he was sad. I miss you. Sorry. Quote. I miss you so bad. I don't forget you. Oh, it's so sad. I hope you can hear me. I really hope it's clear the day you slipped away was the day I found it wouldn't be the same. That song is not lame and not emo, said a scary voice. Floyd looked over and Jeff the Killer was there, all caps. OMG, Jeff the Killer, what are you doing here? He asked. He was so scared that he stopped singing his very sad song. I'm Jeff the Killer, and I'm gonna Jeff the Kill you, said Jeff the Killer. Nuh-uh, Floyd said. Yeah-huh, Jeff the Killer. Wait, Jeff the Killer, why do you look like Jared Way from the Helena music video? Asked Floyd from the DreamWorks Trolls series. He knew what Jared Way from the Helena music video looked like because he was sad and emo, and he listened to sad and emo music, but not MCR because MCR killed his family. I am Jared Way from the Helena music video, Floyd gasped. That was shocking. The whole time, Jared Way had been Jeff the Killer, and I'm all Alos. I think it's supposed to be also Alos Party Poison's cousin, and you killed him. Now I'm gonna kill you, bro. He literally killed my brothers first. Floyd said, "I'm gonna Jeff the kill you." Oh wait, Floyd thought. I'm gonna die so bad, and then he started to die so bad. It wasn't fun. Jeff the Killer was trying kill him. It was hard though, since his knife was person sized and Floyd was a little creature. He did a little dance and Jeff the Killer kept missing. It made him mad. Floyd tried to give him sad puppy dog eyes so he wouldn't Jeff the Kill him. It didn't work. Go to sleep. Oh, that's a classic line, said Jeff the Killer, or Jared Way from Tat Helena music video. You go to sleep. Maybe I'm gonna Jeff the Kill you, Floyd said, and then he pulled out a gun and he Jeff the killed him. He could have done that earlier, but he forgot it was an option. Ow, Jeff the Killer sank to his knees. You Jeff the killed me. And then he Jeff the died. Well, that happened. And then Floyd sang the rest of a song that Jeff the Killer interrupted. And I can't take it. It wasn't fake. It happened. You passed by. Now you're gone. Now you're gone. There you go. There you go. Somewhere I can't bring you back. Jeff the Killer wasn't dead, though. So he sat up and said, that's really corny. And he fell over and died for good. The end. All right. Well.
So that is So you know how you read crack treated seriously first? This one is just straight up crack.
Yeah.
This is just straight up crack. So you've experienced both sides of the crack coin. You're familiar now with crack.
Now I know what crack is. Yeah.
You know you're real into it. I forgot mid the whole thing that it was about one of the characters was from Trolls.
Yeah.
Because then when you got to like
Floyd was just a
yeah, because you're like, oh, and
OC
sucks because the knife is person sized. And I was like, why is he carrying a big ass knife? Oh, this is a character from Trolls.
Dude. He's like that tiny.
And then I looked up Party Poison.
Yeah.
That is also
that's a Trolls character?
No. It's Party Poison is portrayed by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. They are from a thing. What is this from? A Fabulous Killjoys. This is from Danger Days. What is Danger Days?
Is that not an album?
Yeah. So Party Poison is also Gerard Way. So Gerard Way died a million times in this piece of work. So
there's 4 parts and 4 parts of the Floyd verse.
The Flurse. He's gonna Jeff to kill you.
I'll just hit the summaries on this one. Party Poison, part 1. Party Poison kills Floyd's brothers since he hates corporate boy bands. Floyd goes on a revenge arc to get back at him for killing his brothers. Part 3. Floyd and Party Poison are sharing a hot dog and have a Lady in the Tramp moment. And part 4. Was it casual when Party Poison took Floyd home? Was it casual when he introduced Floyd to his family? Was it casual when Party talked about marriage like it was the most natural thing in the world? Was any of it casual?
Is that like a Chaperone reference? Is he trying to quote stuff from the Casual song?
You don't think it's another MCR deep cut?
Oh my god!
I'm not that
Casual.
MCR. I think
My Chemical Romance. No. At least it doesn't seem so far. Maybe they're venturing into.
Maybe it's Chaperone. Maybe she comes into it.
Yeah, maybe. Oh my god, I did.
Because we're all written last year.
Yeah, I think maybe it is a Chaperone reference. I do now realize that I know who Floyd is as a character.
Additional tags: song, casual, Chaperone.
Oh, nice. Nice. I'm an adult. Okay. Anyway, this was Floyd was portrayed, voiced by Troye Sivan in the movie, and he was the one who was trapped in the. I get it now. Why he doesn't like corporate boy bands or whatever? Because Floyd was in the movie Trolls. Floyd was trapped in like a thing, a perfume looking thing for 2. Fake pop stars who would use the essence of Floyd in order to make themselves talented.
What Trolls were this?
Wait, Trolls band together. Okay. So this is like
because I was like, I think I've seen the first Troll. Okay, I've not seen Trolls.
Yeah, this was from 2023. I watched this at my brother's girlfriend's house.
So you get around to seeing Trolls.
I have not seen. Listen, I've not seen
the third Trolls film
any of the Trolls movies.
Yeah,
but I've seen this one.
That's one of the Trolls movies. You've seen a Trolls movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the premise of it is just like, what was the premise of the movie? Justin Timberlake was there. It was like he gets the band back together. That's
it is like it's a 4-brother boy band.
Yeah, and they just try to get Troye Sivan away from.
They're trying to get them back together.
Yeah, and then there's stuff about like there's also like some aspects about like fearing the outside world because you've been killed by what's that one guy? The guy that's always after the trolls.
What?
I think I'm.
What are you thinking of? Smurfs? You're thinking of Gargamel?
No, there's something that eats the trolls.
Is there?
Something eats the troll.
Something eats the trolls?
Trolls.
I haven't seen the third.
What? Hold on. What eats
Trolls
the trolls?
film, so.
What eats the trolls in the movie? The Bergens eat the trolls in the movie.
Okay.
I know. For a second, I was like, "Am I thinking of the Smurfs?" No, because what's that girl's name? I got a ticket for the long way run. Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. Anna Kendrick finds out that she has a sister in the movie, and the sister, and Anna Kendrick's character is friends with a Bergen's creature girl, and she's like the bridesmaid for the Bergen's like
Anna
wedding.
Kendrick's like racist.
No, Anna Kendrick's like no. Anna Kendrick's sister is racist towards the Bergens,
Okay.
but then she's like, actually, you're like so cool because you're my sister's best friend, and you're not actually here to eat us. And then there's obviously some bits of like the Bergens like getting her head real close to their mouths, but they're like, we would never eat you. We're cool people like that. So yeah, do I recommend it?
It's one of the only movies you saw in 2023.
Shh, wait. No, I didn't even see this in 2023. Is the thing I saw it in 2024.
Yeah. So the Trolls movie.
Yeah, the Trolls movie. Floyd is actually, he's the one who gets like really taken advantage of by like the fake corporate pop stars, because they literally put him in like a perfume thingy. Like by the end of the movie, they were gonna take all of the trolls and then put them in these like shoulder pads that really feed their like talent in spray form to like the twin pop stars. They were really getting their essence. So I understand. Like this engages in, I think,
the trolls.
Yeah, they were engaging more so in the troll movie than
Jeff the Killer.
Like Jeff the Killer's only there to Jeff the kill someone.
Yeah, I do think there's some familiarity for sure with the Jeff Killer.
Yeah.
We got the Go to Sleep, of course.
Yeah,
iconic one.
I know. I can't believe you remembered that.
Yeah. Oh, how could I forget? I mean,
like I just got it because you said it, and I was like, "That's a cool line," and then you're like, "The line," and I was like, "Oh, slay!"
I mean, it's like right up there with like All Work and No Play makes Jack a Little Boy. Here's Johnny. It's Murder in Time. Like that's like right up there.
Wait, where's It's Murder in Time
from? Scream, I think. Yeah, Scream probably.
Is that a play on It's Clobber in Time, or is this Clobber in Time new?
It's Clobber in Time is a reference to It's Clobber in Time.
Right. Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, am I once again lost?
The Thing. Another Ben, by the way, Ben Grimm.
So many Bens in the world. Ben is still not in the top 10.
God damn, not top 10 anymore. Even fuck.
You gotta stop reminding me about other Bens that I do enjoy. I do love The Thing.
I know.
He's such a cool man.
Benito Mussolini. I tried to dissuade you from that one, but
that one, I think it's purely the name. Maybe change your name
to Benito.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Follow the Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Do it. Like, be like, it's always because of Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I'm not doing it because of Benito Mussolini, JD. I'm not changing my name to Benito because of that.
You never know. Some people
I have to hide my power levels. What do you think I am? I can be like, oh yeah.
Ben, you have to say it out loud because some people will be like, "Oh, your name is Benito," and you have to be like, "Bad Bunny, dog, Bad Bunny."
How I could avoid that is just continuing to call myself Ben. Okay, like I just skip the risky.
Because no
one for
imagination.
A white Benito.
Wait a minute, that's a good nickname.
White Benito.
That's a drink. I think I like to order a white Benito. Ben, that's a drink.
That is a drink. It's a Sobe pina colada with a
Sobe pina colada, and it has like for some reason like lychee, like a lychee fruit in it, and
tropical.
Yeah, so let you get everybody. The next time you go to a bar, if you're someone who maybe gets you a white Benito, and then don't explain it.
Yeah. They should know. They'll know.
They'll know it. I think it's the vibe of it. Like
we're there enough.
Sometimes there's variations where they put like a Yakult in it, so you get a little bit of
a little probiotic.
Yeah, so get you a little healthy, get your gut right.
Yeah.
But back to the Trolls story that you just told. How does it engage with the original story? You said that like they know a little bit of they know a little bit of a deep cut of Mr. Jeff the Killer's Jeff the Killin', and but not too much on Mr. Jeff the Kill. It's more It's more trolls
It's
and
more trolls focused.
Yeah.
As evidenced by being part 2 of the Floyd verse.
Yeah, you were right about it being My Chemical Romance song. It was Helena, and then the Party Poison was another Gerard Way character.
Yeah.
So Gerard Way dies a million times in this.
Also makes out with Floyd though, so it's like a toxic yaoi, I believe. Is the
How? Wow. We'll think about that later in
it's
our
like
own time.
Quentin Tarantino non-linear storytelling shit, you know, like
slay. And in terms of our ratings, which we have completely glossed over a couple times because some of these are kooky and wild. Fear, 0. Believability, it's crack. Storytelling, I will say that because there are aspects of crack fic. Sometimes things are misspelled. Sometimes things are kind of maybe that
I was picking out that had to be intentional. That had to be like a stylistic choice. Yeah.
And story content.
Yeah, great,
interesting. We really thought about it. It had us pause a couple times and an overall. But yeah, we've gotten so far a good spread of fan fiction. So I hope this one returns to the feeling of Ben Drowned, so that we can have a little, so we can bring it home a little bit, reel it in a little bit before we get to, what is this? What do I have on my agenda? What's on my agenda? Oh, we got actually two. No, we got one more, but it's an actual creepypasta.
Ooh.
Because I was looking for if they had creepypastas on fan fictions, because I'd be like, that would be cool. But I think this one just
is a creepypasta.
Yeah, is a creepypasta. Okay. This one is oh my god. Anyway, this one is from an orphan account, which is different from an anonymous account. An orphan account is when someone keeps because you can have the option of like deleting it. You can orphan it but still have it attached to your name, or you can orphan it and have it not attached to anything. So it's just linked to an account that says orphan account. You can't go and click on it and find like a list of all the fan fictions written that are linked to an orphan account. So this is someone who doesn't want to delete the work but wants to keep it up on archive of our own, but unassociated with their name.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So this one is the rating is not rated. The archive warnings are graphic depiction of violence, major character death, and the fandom is the backrooms. Right?
Okay. Nice.
And this is from a series, but this is from 2023, and it's got 1 kudo and 39 hits. I think 5 of those hits were me refreshing the page, so I'll keep refreshing it for you. Nice. Okay. This one, it seems to be in second person POV, so I'm sorry if you don't like being told that you're doing something. All right, let's go into the back rooms. Okay, I got to get my non-Valley girl voice ready. Okay, says, you wake up hearing the blaring of your alarm clock and slamming the button, stopping the buzzing in your ears. You get out of bed, get dressed, and brush your teeth. You grab your keys, realize you're too late, and get into your car. You're driving to the building you're working at, and you turn up the volume on the radio, which is talking about a man who had gone missing about a week ago. You turn into a dark alleyway, seeing a dark, twisted silhouette. It appears almost immediately, and you think you're just tired, shoving the tiredness out of you. The radio is still talking about the man whose name is Jason Gray. Jason worked at the same construction site you work at. You start driving to the spot, and you finally get there. You get out of your car. You start running to the building because of your tardiness, and you suddenly trip over your foot. You sit up. When you tripped, you didn't feel the concrete, but felt the sensation of falling for eternity. You look around you, seeing the yellow walls and hearing the white lights. You stand, seeing a sort of maze around you. The markings on the walls are arrows with lines separating them. You look down at your watch and the numbers are going wild. They stop at 3 a.m. before the screen goes blank. You take it off and throw it, frustrated that you can't use it before it suddenly disappears. It seems to have phased right through the floor, and you step over the spot to ensure it's gone. The foundation is solid here, though. You look around, confused, as you suddenly realize that the laws of physics don't work here. Not that you took physics class in high school anyway. You start looking around for the exit to this place, and you don't see it within the first few minutes of your trekking. The yellow walls don't seem to end, and it's a few hours before you see something unfamiliar. There are arrows on the walls, all pointing in the same direction. There are other marks among the arrows, but there are also words. The words are mostly scribbles, but you can make out 4 words. Don't move. Stay still. You're pondering about the words when you suddenly hear screaming. You look over to your left, seeing the same twisted silhouette you saw in that dark alleyway. The wind forming from your running whips past your face as you hear the creature running after you. You look behind you, seeing it gaining, and you turn your direction, and the creature slams into the wall behind you. You smile to yourself, running into a room you haven't seen before. It has walls that look like plus signs, and you run past, looking to your left again and seeing another room. You sprint toward it and see the creature running just behind you. You see a hole in the floor and jump down immediately, barely avoiding the gangly creature behind you, panting. You look up from your position and you see that you have landed in a house-like structure. You look up back towards the hole, only the hole is no longer there. You remind yourself that physics doesn't work in this world, and you walk towards a staircase. You run your hand up the banister, reminiscing about your old house when you were a child. You walk up the steps, turn a corner, and see a large white room with only one window in it. You walk over to the window, seeing many more windows, almost as if it were an apartment complex. The complex has grass at the bottom of it, and the space is shaped like a triangle. You turn away from the window and keep walking, turning down a hallway and seeing a void. The void has something on the other side, and you look down it. The nothingness seems to stretch forever, and you look up, seeing the same thing. The other side has a large boxed-in hallway, like the ones you were just in, with a green exit sign above them. It looks like a stick figure running through a door. You turn back around and walk through the hallway, turning down another corner and seeing an exit door. You run toward it, hoping to find yourself back in the concrete structure you once knew as your workplace, but it's just the same room you had found yourself in earlier. You walk through the yellow halls and see an opening that you walk into. You find a slide-like place and slide down, stopping right before you hit the door on the other side. You stand up, open the door, and your vision goes black. You start to fall, but it's not like before. You slam into the ground on your back, looking up the white lights and gray barred ceilings. Your back doesn't hurt, and you almost certainly aren't dead. At least, not yet. You aren't bleeding either. You're completely fine. You stand, feeling all over your body for anything out of place, but there's nothing. It was almost like the fall had split your body up. You could feel it happening. You tell yourself you're just fine, but do you believe that? Do you think you're safe here? It could be a possibility. You look around, seeing narrow hallways and brown oak doors, and you wander through the twisting corridors. You look down at your arms, and you see that your watch is back. You look at it, tap it once, and it's working just fine. The watch says 8:32 a.m. You've been here for 5 hours? You keep walking, and eventually the lights start to flicker. You stop walking, look at the lights, and they instantly go out. You check your watch again. 8:35. You feel your pockets for anything that would produce light, and you remember you had a tactical belt equipped with 2 flashlights and extra batteries in case either of them goes out.
My everyday carry.
Everyday carry. You pull one of them out, clicking the button, and you start to walk around with the light. A few minutes later, you hear a metal clanging noise coming from one of the rooms. You walk toward the source of the clanging. You carefully open the room, and there's a figure in the corner, crouching in the darkness. You shine your light at it, and you see a human. He's crying. You stare in disbelief as your brain places the identity of the man in front of you. Jason Gray.
Okay.
The backrooms. I feel like as I was reading that, I did start to, when they were describing it, start to recognize that they were just describing some of like the popular backrooms rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the yellowing one that's just kind of like there. The very iconic first one. And then the what is it? The apartment complex looking one, like it's got a bunch of like windows in it, and it's like I like that in the sense that it starts to describe a whole bunch of things, and you're like, oh, I know that. If you're familiar with backrooms, and if that's something that you think about in terms of the things. So in terms of like engaging with the original story, it's putting a person in those places and sort of giving you like directions, or like it's placing you in it and giving it a sense of place or direction or things to turn into, as opposed to just being like, this is a strange photo that could be like a backroom kind of thing, right?
Right.
I think in that way it kind of improves the story in a sense, because it makes the place a little bit bigger. It makes the backroom a little bit bigger as a concept, and it expands the story by connecting the rooms to each other, right? You could phase out of one room and end up in a different iconic backroom photo kind of thing. And I don't know if that explains the backrooms in itself. And I'm not too great on backrooms. But I feel like that's how it engages it. In terms of backrooms, it says that we mentioned it a little bit on episode 24, 2, and 20. So it's a frequent feature on us.
Frequent feature for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Kane Pixels short documentary?
Mm-mm.
So we're not talking documentary. I'm a fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
All movies are real, right?
It's a movie. This one's nonfiction, right?
Yeah, the Kane Pixels short, the Backrooms. I think that's pretty directly. I was just pulled it up on YouTube and I'm scanning through the kind of clips.
Is Jason Gray a feature of that?
I don't believe Jason Gray is a feature of it, so I think that's an addition.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little added story, but definitely as I'm scrolling through, there's a lot of like the yellow rooms with arrows. There's various shapes of the rooms, and then there is a part where it kind of enters into a more industrial area. There's a part where it enters into the kind of multiple windows staring at a courtyard, kind of like apartment buildings thing. There's stairs. So I think that there is a jumping through a hole. So it is a very similar layout to the Backrooms as Kane Pixels presented it as well in the short.
Whoa, so this is like a fan fiction on the Backrooms and also mayhaps on that.
Yeah, perhaps inspired as well by the Kane Pixels short. Yeah, which I think that has really popularized the Backrooms as a kind of concept too. I think a lot of people know it as a Kane Pixels thing, even though he's not necessarily the creator of the concept of the Backroom.
Yeah, the Backrooms for everyone else is from a post on 4chan. That's just like a really weird room.
Yeah,
the iconic yellow room, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think I like that one. I forced you on the Jeff the Killer one, but it was because I knew I didn't read it and I knew that you knew about Jeff the Killer more. But I think I liked the ones that I read in terms of like purple prose.
For yourself. All right. No,
I did roll a D20 on all that. That had 20
you
options.
Cheated when you gave
that
me
one
the
was because you said I could do it.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. It's fine. But
are you silent or were you silenced?
I was silenced.
Exactly.
Sorry, I apologize. My bad.
But yeah, in terms of the ones that I pulled from this in a safe way, that concludes the 4 ones that we chose. However, we have one creepypasta on fan fiction or the concept of fiction in general. I will give this one to Ben because I think when I glanced at it, it's a decent one.
A secret bone.
Right. Yeah, see, I gave you all the weird ones so you can close your section on like a really cool and interesting and fun one. Look at how nice I actually am.
Okay. Oh, it's from the Creepypasta Wiki.
Exactly. Who I still don't have the images activated for.
Title of this one is The Writing Process. It is in the category of mental illness. A burgeoning adolescent writer sits idly at his workspace. He is in the process of writing a story. He is a meek-eyed, unkempt boy with a feeble, slightly malnourished build and combed black hair. Despite his weakly disheveled appearance, his talent exceeded all physicality and was often lauded by adults triple his age to be undeniably genius. He received much praise and acclaim in this manner. Many applauded the young boy for his way of using clever rhetoric and elegant prose, all while contriving genuine and lifelike characters. Indeed, he knew that he had a tremendous talent in this area. The boy, in fact, often thought that his talents were completely wasted on the likes of high school competitions. True, he would emerge uncontested in each competition he entered, but he gained no satisfaction or pleasure from ruthlessly defeating children who were undoubtedly unable to create a cohesive plot, even if their life depended on it. Rather, it was the process of creating these fictitious tales that he could take pride in. He was testing himself. The boy used these writing competitions simply to test his ideas. He was, after all, blessed with an immense gift. He sat in a state of reverie, feeling prideful on the success that word is hard for me, success of his recent experiments. They ultimately became distant to him, however, as he was ready to move on to his new project. He held pen to paper and began to write. As words started to form in his mind, so did the ideas from characters he would implement. In these fleeting moments of self-awareness while writing, he would often wonder if even Tolstoy could match the talent he possessed. The knowledge he had accrued through his writing experiments had made him adopt an iconoclastic view of other writers. This was, of course, the result of his overbloated sense of self. His conscious remarks were soon replaced by an all-consuming concentration. He had begun his writing process. Horror was easily his favorite genre. He loved the thrill he got from writing it. Knowing this, it is unsurprising that the story he would write would be a short horror story. He envisioned the story he would create and started theorizing ways to maximize fear. Fear maxing, if you will. That's my what's his name? Of course.
I was like, wait, does he say
Yeah,
fear max?
no. Of course, he thought, what better way to instill fear into the reader than to use those two? The diction on paper had become a vision, amalgamating to form a window into another world. His vehement writings became fleshed out. His characters were now alive. He watched them as they examined their surroundings, completely lost in their current whereabouts. As he was the writer, he felt the impenetrable fervor of terror they felt as they stood in front of the insidious Gothic manor that loomed over them. The characters had no choice, foolishly entered. The boy was fond of the vampire story. He derived great enjoyment from creating them. He studied on as the characters made their way deeper into the house, an abyss of an all-encompassing darkness. The walls were rotting, the wallpaper peeled off and seemed to coalesce with the floor and ceiling, along with the great abundance of cobwebs. The benign feeling you have when you are in a homely residence was not there, an eeriness permeating from every nook and cranny of the house had to offer. The pair knew they were unsafe. A young couple, both of pale complexion. The male sported dirty blonde hair, while the female was brunette. The male had a rough, thuggish physiognomy that made him look constantly tense. He may have even been considered boyish in the past. He was quite a lean boy, much more above the average height for a man, while his female partner was much smaller in stature compared to the male. Are we describing Fred and Velma from Scooby-Doo here? Is that what's going on? The woman had a petite, rounded face that appeared as evidence of a once beautiful woman. The couple were written to be young millennials, but their current features made them appear much older. Tears ran down their cheeks. Their faces were both contorted into wrinkled visages that revealed the terrifying extent of their suffering. As he surveyed the young couple, the boy hoped that they would meet the fiend that he had written in the manor. He was quite a big fan of Nosferatu. He had hoped that they would appreciate his love letter to the classic film. Of course, he believed his reimagining of the vampire was far more monstrous and grotesque than the original. He held an ear-to-ear grin as he watched the couple navigate helplessly down the decrepit corridors that he had created. Unbeknownst to most, the appraisal the boy constantly received was the byproduct of the suffering of many characters in a continuous cycle of torment. Ever since birth, he was able to blur the line of fiction and reality seamlessly. In fact, he even acknowledged that it wasn't himself alone that equated to his great talent. The characters seemed to write themselves. The boy watched, unable to mask the boundless joy he felt. He wasn't sure why he felt so joyous when watching his creations, but his detachment from the characters paralleled the way a child would play with and break their toys, despite being an adolescent. In that way, he was incredibly childlike. He wanted to control his narrative, and he became indignant when his toys wouldn't do what he wanted. Of course, the power he held allowed him to do whatever he pleased. The quiet sobs of the couple shared together would turn into a frightening cacophony of blood-curdling screams. It appeared that the monster he had written in finally managed to catch his prey. He watched in glee as the creature bit through their flesh with ease. The sound of tendons and tissue tearing and popping. Their cries of anguish soon became muted. The gnawing and crushing of their bones became the only sound audible. Their mangled corpses would not go wasted, as the characters savored every last inch of their bodies. The boy noted that it was possibly too violent and required some tweaks in proofreading, but he was nonetheless content with the result. After the performance, he simply couldn't wait to write them in again. Their reactions, he felt, were very genuine, unlike that first time. He reminisced on the couple's previous attempt to avoid the narrative. They were defiant, painstakingly so. They constantly attempted to find some sort of escape, to no avail. However, after the boy had written them into dozens of torturous scenarios, their spirit inevitably broke, allowing their reaction to be at their most visceral, reprehensible his acts may be. But the boy knew that this power was much larger than himself. At times, he wasn't feeling an immense pleasure from the pain he was directly causing. He pitied them greatly. Then again, their endless torment was definitely better than the fate of the characters in his craft stories, imprisoned within the page, helpless to the infinite darkness that surrounded them. He wondered if they would continue to remain in that state after his death. He was reassured, however, as he knew that his ideas would continue for millennia. What a hellish existence, he thought, and how cruel, too. What kind of god would birth them into such a world, one filled with infinite suffering and endless resentment? He chuckled at his musings. This question was, of course, rhetorical. He thought it to be wickedly hilarious whenever his characters would begin to pray to their god. The boy thought, don't they understand? He was their god. That's it. End scene. One comment. First. So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go through like a bullet point list of like first. This was my opinion.
Just first comment. That's it. So how'd that one end up in there? How'd you come across this?
Looking up fan fiction, the word fan fiction on creepypasta.
I guess it is Nosferatu fan fiction.
Are we timely again, or was this written recently?
It was written several years ago.
Okay, so we're just timely again. We're
just
all seeing creatures who just
Nosferatu is always kind of always timely,
eternal, and all that stuff. But I mean,
2021,
hell yeah. Was Nosferatu announced? Just kidding. No, Nosferatu was around.
Yeah,
he's always on the mind. Nosferatu on the mind.
Yeah,
Nosferatu. Nosferatu did scare me as a child.
It's effective, yeah.
On SpongeBob, not as a concept itself, but on that SpongeBob episode. I think that was my first exposure to Nosferatu.
I think so. I think that was that was my first exposure as well.
Was that on the Hash Slinging Slasher episode or no?
Yeah, I think so.
That episode was funky.
Right. Yeah, that was a scary one.
Yeah.
Nosferatu pops in at the end. He's doing the lights.
Yeah, I do. Like, okay. We on another tangent. Let's go. Back when like our cartoons, our kids shows had like that one random fucking traumatizing ass episode.
Yeah.
That just scared us for no reason.
They think they're still doing that. It's just like we're not kids. So
yeah.
We're not exposed to that.
I have no idea, or if it's even allowed. Are you allowed to terrorize children on TV in the same way?
I feel like, yeah.
I feel like the last recent one that I saw was the on the Adventure Time, and it was the sheep or deer character that would take off its hooves and then would have like hands like that, and it scared me so much. I know I was an adult when I was watching that, but it did scare the shit out of me. Yeah,
Adventure Time I think overall had some dark themes for sure. Like the Lich is pretty creepy.
Yeah.
I love Adventure Time. It's a great show, but definitely there's some spooks.
They did have some spooky stuff on there. There was the one at when they were in the house, when they were in the tree house, and it was like thundering outside, and there was like that typical ghostly little girl that was like coming closer and closer to the house. But I hate that episode. I think. Let me just recap. Like, no, I get the Courage the Cowardly Dog was like in general very scary, but that show you knew that it was going to be scary, so you'd have your like episode that like traumatized you for several months on end. But when it's like a random show that you're like all of a sudden there's a scary episode, you're like,
it can be more scary.
Yeah, it can be a little bit scarier than intended, but. Yeah. In terms of, I know that there is a breadth of work on both AO3 and creepypasta that can be purposely very bad and also very incredibly good. In terms of the fan fictions that you've read today, where does the writing process sit?
I feel like it was like trying too hard. Does that make sense? Like I feel like, the whole like, look, I'm writing about a writer, so I have to be like real writerly. I gotta really throw these fucking words at this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it was like, you can say less. You can say more by saying less sometimes. You don't need to get into the SAT words. They don't need it. They don't necessarily.
We're not being asked for this to be an AP exam at the end. I did wonder when you were reading it if that was like, was it written like that on purpose to sort of show that this is like a snobby writer that I'm writing about, or is that just the style of the author's writing?
I think it was like partially kind of that meta thing of like, this is about the evil writer boy. So it's
Evil
like,
writer boy.
but it's also like, I don't know. I feel like if you were doing that, you could have written as the evil writer boy.
Yeah, and I think you can convey evil writer boy without sounding like that, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think just some of it seemed a little. People don't talk like this. People. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a thing right now for people who have spent Jesus, years, fives of years on Tumblr, where if they read a book that is like pretty recent or gets popular on like Book Talk or like Twitter or something like that, they can easily identify if someone who was on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Because of the like
there's some tells.
Yeah, which is like the way was on Tumblr or was writing fan fiction. Because one of the like the big tells sometimes of fan fiction is like how purple prosy something is, right? So one of the stories that we read, the Ben Drowned one was very purple prosy, is very descriptive, but it's not too like the Backrooms one, I could see it as like an existing story itself. Like it was written very like second person POV, and it's just like instructional cry. Like the holder of blah 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 was also like second person, right? It read like that. The Ben Drown one was very purple prosy, but you could also then argue that like you could tell that this person was on Tumblr for some time when it comes to writing it. Because the tendency of people on Tumblr, I guess, is like very long, descriptive, overly floral, like paragraphs about things.
Yeah, right.
Those kinds of. So like what people have been able to do now is like if they read like something that went popular on Book Talk and it's like pretty recent, they'll be like, oh, I know this person was on Tumblr. I know they have an AO3 account, like that kind of thing. So it's very interesting to like, in the sense of like, I wonder what that was like back in the day. Like, what was like the inside thing of like, I read this and I knew that you hung out in these types of circles. Right? I know you were on Twitter. I know you were on Tumblr.
The tells were.
Yeah,
for sure.
What are the linguistic tells for like those kinds of things?
Yeah, I think part of that is like there's when we do writing online, there are no editors. Like a lot of like self-published shit is like tends to get a little extra wordy, maybe a little more ungainly in terms of like just there's no editors. Nobody's telling you, hey, you can cut this out. Like, hey, this is not, shorten this up a little bit, tighten it up. So I think that's a part of the kind of modern writing style is like not the reflection not being used to editors or not like thinking like, oh, somebody else is going to read this and cut a lot of shit out. Not as like necessarily a better or worse thing. Like some people do really enjoy the more kind of flowery, really spending time in the world of like whatever they're reading and want that.
Yeah,
that's totally valid. But I think that is like a different way of experiencing things than like before, when there was like that kind of like gatekeeper process of like, okay, now you go through an editor, the editor whittles it down and gets you to like publishing ready.
Yeah, I think that's a good like comment on it, because a lot of like fan fiction is like, that's you, that's just you. Maybe you'll have like a beta, which is like someone who will read through your fic, and then you'll maybe have someone who betas it for the purpose of like just editing your words, right, correcting everything, or like making sure that it makes sense within the world. But that's just like also like another person who's you're maybe not paying, and maybe that's not their job. Maybe this is your friend Saturday helping you out because they're really good at like proofreading things, or they're like an expert in the world that you're writing in. But like for the most part also that's maybe someone who's also like a fan of your work and your style, so they're not going to go ham at you. And it's again,
it's probably maybe a friend or somebody else in the community that you're
so they're not going to, unless you ask them to, they're not going to be like, cut this entire paragraph out, you just spoke 4 run-on sentences that became 2 paragraphs, and it's just like insane.
You spent 12 minutes talking about a fucking gold chain. What is this? Like,
this is our content, baby.
Yeah.
But I think it's I hope that these samples these 4 quite silly but some decent examples of fan fiction have made you think about the act of creating fan fiction and maybe glossing over AO3 to see if your favorite movie had something on it and what people thought about it. And to conclude this one, of our thinking about our experience in the creepypasta world and some of the things that we talked about and looked at in this, in the entirety of Ice Cream You Mean podcast, is there something, now that you have some experience and knowledge of what fan fiction is there anything that we've written about that you would consider making fan fiction or fan content about?
I gotta think about that.
Who in your list of boys?
The list of episodes, because I don't remember.
Yeah.
A lot of what we've done.
Yeah. Hit up that episode guide.
The guide is just for us.
The guide is for us.
No one else has to know what's happened. These guys.
We're distracting. Oh, I see you in the dock, but I don't see you in the dock.
I mean, Sonic EXE would be kind of an obvious one for like that would be a good crack fodder. I'm sure there's a lot of Sonic EXE crack out there.
While you're looking, I think you could do a really good like purple prosy one on the Shaggy dog.
I think that's possible.
Because I feel like you're a connoisseur of the Shaggy dog.
Of
your own volition.
I know a thing or two about the Shaggy dog.
He knows a thing or two and a lot about the Shaggy dog, actually.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You know, we got a lot of shit that we've done. I don't know what I would fan fiction. Maybe the Rake.
The Rake.
The Rake is creepy. I feel like the Rake, but maybe that would be more of a creepypasta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you could
maybe the Fresno Nightcrawlers. I can get kind of fun. I could see them hanging out with Linda Belcher.
Yeah, you could do a Rake and Fresno Nightcrawler fan fiction crossover, because don't they all get down on the ground and get crawling around?
Crawling in the night, playing night crawlers.
Yeah, like the Fresno crawler
getting weird
meets the Rake for the first time, and he's like, yo, chill. Like, don't be so scary.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it. That kind of thing.
Talks him down a little bit.
Talk it down a little bit. For me, I think I would maybe I'd do a Babadook one. Maybe I'd go back to my OG Babadook and I would do like a how did you come to be the Babadook? How did this outfit get on you? Right? Yeah. I know that you're mayhaps a metaphor for grief and depression, but if I were to ask you several questions, like that one video that's like the Vogue, like 77 something questions inside of the house thingy, like I would do that as sort of like introspective fan fiction on the Babadook, maybe a slice of life on the early days of how the Babadook came to be. That would be for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that concept. Yeah.
That's
and then the Babadook has had this long life after the Babadook too, you know, in terms of becoming a gay icon. Like there's so much it's a deep well.
Yeah. How do you come to that sort of identity, right? How do you become that kind of thing? So I would do like an origins type slice of life moment. Nothing too like more showing than telling, right? I think I would do that one because I'm not very good at dialogue or telling about anything. But
you're probably wondering how I got here, how I got into this situation. Freeze frame.
Record scratch.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's a Babadook, and you're probably wondering how I got here. Teen movie Babadook style.
That's really fun. I like that.
Oh my god, yeah.
We got some ideas. Yeah.
Maybe I'm cooking. Do not take that TM. I'm gonna mail this episode to us in the mail and never open it.
Yeah, I'll be there before it's even up.
Yeah,
so don't even bother trying to steal that one.
We've got a breadth of work ahead of us. But I mean, that concludes our fanfiction centric episode. Maybe by the time that Ben writes the bio for this episode, he'll write a little tidbit on what he would write his fanfiction about.
Yeah,
maybe we can get a fanfic about
for the description.
Yeah, maybe we get a fanfic from Ben. He opens a AO3 account, which you can't because you still have to get a referral.
You can hook me with that, can't you? Oh.
Let me find out my password and I'll get you a Ben account. I'm gonna make sure that your name, your handle right now is not taken on
my nom de plume.
Nom de plume. But yeah, that is our fanfiction episode.
Thank you guys. This episode was written and produced by JD. Ben showed up. I'm here as well. For all our sources, please head to the website in the description below. If you would like to reach out with a comment, suggestion, or share an experience with one of our topics today. If you wrote any of those lovely fanfics, send us a message at icecreamymeme@gmail.com. All of the music for the podcast is provided by Yager Frank. If you like the show, tell a friend. If you didn't, share it with an enemy. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.